Welcome, everyone. My name's Peter Meyer. I'm one of your selectmen here in town, but I'm also a member of both organizations that are here meeting tonight. Taylor's Point Association, probably my whole adult life, and as the Bourne Historical Society, I was brought into the fold back in 2017, and I've been on the board of directors ever since. This evening we have two of our finest, in Neil Angelo, Maureen Dunn. Again, members of both organizations and historic enthusiasts, and are going to be here to do a presentation this evening. Honestly, I don't know about the background of the presentation. I just know that they're doing it, so I promise you it will be a good one.
We normally go to the Keys in the winter, and because of COVID and other things, we were not able to go this winter, so we decided we would try to embrace the cold and go out and explore our own backyard, which we found a lot of really interesting and fun things. I just want to let you know that the next Taylor's Point lecture is going to be in July or August, so you can look for notice on Facebook or social media of some sort. We'll try to get it out there. We believe it's going to be on Lyme disease, which is a big issue here on the Cape. I can't think of it. We're going to try to do this as like just a conversation. We don't want to just lecture to you about everything. We're just going to try to say, okay, here's the pretty picture, and this is where we think it is. If you think it's someplace else, please pipe up and tell us, because we could be totally off. And I'll hand it over to Neil.
Yeah, this kind of started out as, what do we do this winter? We're stuck here. No swimming pool, no kayaking in the Gulf of Mexico and things like that. So we decided to just wander around. It's one of the ways of taking just a humdrum trip, like you go grocery shopping or something like that. Take an extra hour, visit one of these places. You can find lists of them on the internet, trails and stuff like that. If you look carefully, drive down the road, you'll see little parking lots with a sign saying such and such a trail. Stop in, take a walk, take a look at it. Most of them are very well maintained. There's Conservation Commission has done a number of things to acquire them and to upgrade them. There's Boy Scouts, there's various organizations that have added signage to it and cleaned up the trails and kept the little bridges and footpaths clear so that you can walk without sinking in mud and stuff like that. It's great to do this during the winter. There's no very few bugs and very few things like the ticks and stuff like that. So it's great to do it in the winter. It's fresh air. Most of them are in the woods and stuff like that, so that the wind, you can go out in a howling windstorm and it's still pretty nice. So.
Ready?
Okay, so with that, we'll start off with the first one. This slide here is in our neighboring town of Wareham. This is along the Tempest Knob boat ramp at Oak Street on the Wareham River. This is across from the Narrows restaurant and stuff like there. So that's another thing you can combine, like a visit to a restaurant, go out for breakfast, take a little walk, and burn a few calories and enjoy it. So these are parts of that river. Okay. The next group is Four Ponds Conservation Area, Barlow's Landing Road. This is a beautiful site. There's four, well...
There you go.
Yeah. Two intruders. Okay, these are, this is off of Four Ponds Conservation Area is off of Barlow's Landing Road in Bourne. And again, there's a nice little parking lot there, and you walk in the woods, and you come across these four ponds. There's swans in them, there's ducks in them, there's all kinds of bird life here. And it's just absolutely gorgeous to spend an hour going around this. So you
I
can
like
see.
swans, so I can't.
Yeah, she takes lots of pictures of swans. Yeah. But,
A lot of interesting trees and, you know,
okay. Now there's the picture of the map. Okay. Most of these places have some sort of a sign with a map, And
See the QR code reader?
there's a QR code on them, so if you've got a cell phone with you,
You can click and get the trail right on your phone.
yeah. So virtually all of them have it, and most of the places they're well maintained and stuff. So, and generally speaking, you're not alone. So it's nice. This is down Cape. This is where the South Dennis Railroad Station used to be. Unfortunately, it's another one of the many pieces of our past that's no longer there and only available in signs and faded pictures. But again, there's trails down here, trails down to the ponds, and again, you got your ducks and geese frequenting these ponds.
There's some swans.
Well, swans. If they're far enough out, they can be anything you want them to be.
There you go.
This is along the Bass River, near the headwaters of the Bass River. It's our river in the Cape. It's a fairly short river, but it is quite nice both in summer and winter. A great place to kayak on. And we're coming up on here's the entrance to the Bass River here, which is Bass River Beach there, and around the corner is Smuggler's Beach, probably one of the nicer beaches along the south shore of Cape Cod, and nice place. There's a dock and stuff like that there. Here's a relic of the past. I'm not really sure what it is, but somebody says you used to be able to use a phone like this. Yeah, it's just a store with
A
the.
little store or whatever.
Oh. Okay, here's the sign here for one of our great places in town. This is Sagamore Hill Trail. If you go out towards Scusset Beach, and there's a parking lot at Scusset Beach, look to the other side of the street, and there's a little trail and a sign there, and that's Sagamore Hill. It's I believe there were Indian settlements and stuff like that up here at one time. More recent past, it's wartime, World War I and World War II. They had emplacements and guns there. There's still some rail trail around it and stuff like that, gun emplacements up there. But it's a beautiful scene from the top, and you can see the entrance to the canal. Yeah, this is Lyman Trail Reserve.
It's like head of the bay.
With some old junk around it, some old farm equipment and stuff like that, rusty. Yeah, this is a neat little spot right off ahead of the Bay Road. The canal is a great place to walk in the winter. It can be cold, it can be windy. Some of these places offer a little more refuge from the wind and stuff like that, so they are nice. This is a place in Woods Hole. Walk down past the aquarium and into the neighborhoods there, and there's a little pond there that had an army of ducks sitting there and splashing around. And the water, you're out, not quite open ocean, but the water was a little rough and wild that day, and it was pretty nice, real nice. Great places to take a ride, lots of neat homes and old homes, and some neat old architecture in this area. So, okay. Next one is Little Bay and Monks Park. Another spot along the Shore Road and Valley Bars Road section of town down over the side. Now, this is a place over in Wareham.
This is Sandwich.
No, Sandwich.
This is Mirkwood.
Mirkwood is the place. I don't know what was here at one time, but there's pipes and stuff in the ground and stuff like that. You will see artifacts from past uses of these places and wonder what they are. Yeah, a lot of crazy quilt type trees here and stuff like that, gnarly old trees. Really, really interesting stuff.
This was a cool thing, this little picture. There were all sorts of little children's toys, like gnomes and rabbits and dogs, little plastic toys, and someone had been leaving them there.
And this is Sandwich, the mill pond in Sandwich. It's a pretty high point of.
Always a great picture.
Yeah, always a beautiful place. Great place to walk around and see.
Okay, where are we here now?
This looks like the Westgate.
Yes, this is the Douglas Westgate in Farron Hills.
Yeah.
That's in Wareham.
Yeah, there's a few abandoned cranberry bogs here. There's a abandoned rail line here. There's a Wewantic River, and the river was nice this day. Lots of flowing waters and stuff like that. There's, again, another place, there's old equipment here and there around the place that's was probably used when this was an active thing.
And somebody picked some cranberries that was still there in the old cranberry bog.
Yeah, so,
That was Nanook of the North. She
yeah.
cans every now and again.
okay. This is in, what is this?
This is a cool place.
In the Trip Mill in
Mattapoisett.
Yeah, so this is a Trip Mill. The name of the place is Trip Mill, but this is where they made boxes. They had a box factory here, and boxes before they had cardboard were made of wood, and this is where they made them, and they were mostly locally made and everything. And this is part of an abandoned rail trail that's across the street from it. And there's farmland on one side and swamp on the other side. That's an old valve there to shut the water on. Yeah, New England has plenty of rocks, no
A
shortage
lot
of
of
rocks.
birds were in this trail if you're really into birds there. I mean, I'm not.
Along the canal, there's all kinds of ducks, lots of eider ducks, and there's seals out there. There's whales out there. Occasionally, you can get to see a whale. But the seals are out there. In fact, the other day we were right down by the railroad bridge, and there was a seal there, and he came up a couple times with a fish in his mouth. So they are there. So it's just a case of being a little patient to find them. And this is the trading post here.
Somebody was there during the winter.
Yeah.
Opened the doors so we could see the inside at winter time.
Yeah, so it's kind of in its winter slumber there, but it's a fantastic place. It was just recently named to the National Register of Historic Places. Yeah, and pretty nice, real nice place. We've done work on it occasionally, and lots of the people in this room, Skip and Diane, have done tremendous things to make this thing what it is today. So it's come a long way in the years that I've been a member, and it's just it's a neat piece of history. This is
There's Nanook of the North again.
this is home for us. And there's our bridge, fantastic piece of architecture. This is Highfield. Highfield is Eli Lilly's home, and it's
B.B. Woods is the name of it.
yeah. So
Some neat artwork there.
there's nice trails there, and there's lots of artwork around the place. There's a fantastic setup of vines and stuff like that that was put together a few years ago. There's a metal
There,
sculpture.
in the middle of the woods there.
Highfield. It's just off of 28. You go down 28 and in Falmouth. Yeah. We took a trip to Provincetown. Looks like they're farming seagrass to plant all over the.
They had it all staked off so you couldn't walk on it. Like they were protecting the grass.
Yeah.
These are the old cranberry bogs in Wareham. Well,
These are working
these are
cranberry
regular
bogs.
which
They're pretty with the red foliage in the spring. They're
Yeah.
most of them are posted with no trespassing signs, but nobody's ever stopped us if you just take a walk. And near Little Harbor Golf Course, there's a section of Wareham up there that's quite pretty, and there's some trails up there to see. So
there's an old farm, Gibbs family farm.
yeah, some of these some old abandoned farms, and you drive around or walk around enough, you come out to where the Little Harbor Golf Course is, and then you know where you are. And there's the pictures. There's the golf course there. So. Some more stuff. This is it's probably the oldest house in town, the Henshaw House, head of the Bay Road. Yeah. And this is part of the trail around that area. There's more of the Little Buttermilk Bay walking trails. Nice little spot. Everything leads to the water and Buttermilk Bay. So these things have been land purchased by the town in community preservation funds and stuff like that, so that this stuff is preserved in nature forever and gives you the opportunity to take these walks. That's at Scussett Beach at the Sagamore. I think we're out looking
for whales and seals again.
Yeah, I think I might have seen the whale this time, but you can't get a picture of it.
I didn't see it. He said, oh, it's right there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Dave's Diner in Middleborough, wildlife with the mask
cow
on.
was wearing a mask.
Oh, Fort Phoenix and Fairhaven. There's a couple of forts over New Bedford, Fairhaven that are pretty neat to go to. Fort Phoenix is one of them, nice walking place. You can watch the boats come in and out of New Bedford Harbor. More of the Douglas Westgate in Wareham there by the Wewantic River. So the river was a little high that day. I think this is a white egret, it's either a white egret or a white heron, but he's a big white seabird. Some of these next few are in Falmouth at Woods Hole on the Shining Sea bike path near Oyster Pond. This is one of the most fantastic bike paths there is around. Little crowded, but absolutely gorgeous. You got woods, you got ponds, you got open ocean, you got beach, and you can go further on, and there's a lighthouse, and you wind up in Woods Hole. Yeah, and it's going to, it's eventually going to start at the, right here, at the,
It's going to start here in Bourne?
yeah, it's going to connect up. This is Sawmill Dam in Plymouth. This is a historic place in Plymouth where there were probably, the site of the first dam here was around 1822, and these were sawmills. I think it's one of those places where they'd built a sawmill, used it for a while, abandoned it, somebody else comes along, picks up the pieces, and builds another sawmill, works for a while, falls apart, but the Yankees were pretty ingenious in reusing all the old stuff. They never let things go to waste. We've got a lot of pictures out the windows of the car. we had one up in Upper New Hampshire one time there. She was going great, taking great pictures, and snapping. So we start looking at the pictures when we're home, and the pictures are great, except for one. There was one. They have a hydroelectric lines up there that they're trying to put in, and they call it Northern Pass. So she got one perfect sign, Northern Pass, kiss my fill in the blank. There's hundreds of these nests all across the Cape. The osprey nests are fantastic. They're beautiful birds. They hunt for fish and stuff like that. They take care of their babies and feed them and stuff like that and raise them on these perches that people have put in. This is Woods Hole, a number of research boats that they have, different boats in at different times. I'm not sure what that boat was pretty.
Get a close little bay over there.
Yeah, I can go back.
Can
Yeah.
we go back to it?
Yeah, go back one. There, Bell Tower. Woods Hole is a fantastic little place to walk around, ride your bike, you know. And that's the end of the Shining Sea bike trail in the parking lot. This, I think, is
Boardwalk.
Sandwich Boardwalk here. Yeah,
You can't miss a walk without doing the Sandwich Boardwalk.
yeah. And this is a fantastic place to go. We've actually been here when that was underwater, when the deck was underwater. So it shows you the power of the ocean.
That's
This,
that's
the name.
Mayflower. It was docked at Mass Maritime.
Oh, there's a bridge abutment. This is an old abandoned railroad bridge abutment near Route 105 in Wareham. If you're into railroads, there's rail lines all over the place, abandoned here, and I think the Cape was a great place for railroads because it was just wide enough that a railroad going down the middle of the place, servicing everybody. People could walk to their homes and get so. People went to Boston on it, and you know, it was from about 1850 or so through the probably the 1950s. The railroads were big in this place. Yeah, kind of to sum it up, we live in a very beautiful and scenic area, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Hope you enjoyed our journey around Cape Cod, and just remember, not all who wander are lost.